Rosie had made up her mind. She was done. Done with mixed signals, done with emotional confusion, done with people who entered her life like they had a purpose, only to leave without explanation. That evening, she sat with her best friend, Mary, in their hostel room. Mary was the opposite of Rosie in almost every way. She was loud, confident. Although she didn't have the perfect face card that Rosie had, she was still quite attractive. Always dressed like she was going somewhere important, even when she wasn't. Her personality filled every space she entered. She flirted easily, laughed easily, and never seemed to take life too seriously. "Rosie," Mary said, chewing snacks loudly, "you're too serious for your age. You need to relax." Rosie didn't even look up from her phone. "I'm done with all these relationship things," she replied calmly. Mary paused, then burst out laughing. "You done? Rosie, abeg, stop that one." Rosie finally looked at her. "I'm serious, Mary. I don't want anything that will stress my head again. I'm focusing on school." Mary leaned back dramatically. "This one you're saying, like you've not been ignoring fine boys that are trying to talk to you." Rosie didn't respond, because it was true, but she didn't care anymore. Mary studied her for a moment, then shrugged. "Anyway, there's a small party tomorrow. One of my guy's friends is hosting. Just come and clear your head." Rosie shook her head immediately. "I'm not going." Mary smiled like she already knew the answer would change. "We'll see." The next evening, Rosie found herself standing outside a small off-campus apartment. She didn't even know how she got there. Mary had convinced her with persistence, makeup, and the phrase, "You can't be healing inside hostel forever." Music was already spilling out into the night air. Laughter, bass, people talking over each other. Rosie stood over each other. Rosie stood awkwardly at the entrance. "This was a mistake," she whispered. Mary grabbed her hand. "Relax, just follow me." Inside, the house was alive. Students everywhere. Drinks in plastic cups, phones recording short videos, groups forming and breaking apart. Rosie stayed close to Mary, scanning the room like she didn't belong. That's when she saw him. Wemzy. He wasn't trying to be noticed, but somehow he was. Leaning against the wall, laughing with his friends, calm and collected, like the noise around him didn't affect him. Mary noticed her looking. "Oh," Mary smiled. "That one." Rosie frowned. "What?" "That's Wemzy. He's different." Rosie rolled her eyes. "Different how?" Mary smirked. "You'll see." A few minutes later, Mary somehow dragged Rosie closer to the group. "Wemzy!" Mary called out. He turned. His eyes landed on Rosie first, not Mary. Rosie felt it immediately, that brief pause when someone looks at you like they're actually seeing you. Mary grinned. "This is my friend Rosie." Wemzy nodded slightly. "Hi, Rosie." Rosie gave a small nod back. "Hi." Silence. Mary, of course, broke it. "Rosie doesn't talk too much. Don't mind her." Rosie shot her a look. Wemzy smiled faintly. "I noticed." That made Rosie pause. Not in a bad way. Just aware. Later in the night, Rosie stepped outside to get air. Too much noise, too many people, too
too many eyes. She leaned against the wall, scrolling on her phone. Not your type of scene? The voice startled her slightly. Wemzy. He was standing a few steps away. Rosie shook her head. Not really. He nodded like he understood. I get it. I don't really like loud places either. I just come because people expect me to. Rosie looked at him. For someone who doesn't like it, you seem comfortable here. He smiled slightly. I've learned how to act comfortable in places I don't belong. That line stayed in the air a little longer than expected. Rosie didn't know why, but she didn't leave. They talked. At first it was simple things. School, courses, stress, life on campus. Then it became easier, less forced, more natural. Rosie caught herself laughing once. Then again, something she hadn't done freely in a while. Over the next few weeks, Wemzy started showing up more. Not in an overwhelming way, just consistent. A message here, a you ate, there, a short walk after class. Rosie tried to ignore it at first. She remembered her promise. No relationships, no emotional attachment. But Wemzy didn't rush her. He didn't pressure her. He just stayed. One evening, they sat outside the cafeteria. Wemzy finally asked, "So, you don't believe in relationships, or you just haven't met the right person?" Rosie sighed. "I don't trust them." Wemzy nodded slowly. Fair. That response confused her. She expected arguments, persuasion, questions. But he didn't push. He just accepted it. And somehow, that made it harder for Rosie to push him away. It didn't happen in one moment. It happened slowly. In conversations that lasted too long, in laughter that felt too easy, in silence that didn't feel uncomfortable anymore. Mary noticed first. "Rosie," she said one day, "you are smiling too much because of that boy." Rosie frowned. "It's nothing." Mary laughed. "Rosie, nothing doesn't make you check your phone every 5 minutes. Rosie didn't reply because she knew Mary was right. One evening, Wemzy walked her back to her hostel. The air was quiet, different from the usual noise of campus life. Before leaving, he stopped. "Rosie." She turned. He hesitated, then said, "I like you." Rosie froze slightly. Not because she didn't expect it, but because she did, just not this soon. Wemzy continued, "I'm not asking for everything at once. Just give me a chance." Rosie looked at him for a long moment. All her fears, all her promises, all her past experiences, they all spoke at the same time inside her. Then she said quietly, "Okay." That one word changed everything. For the first few months, everything between Rosie and Wemzy felt perfect. It didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel confusing. It didn't feel like anything she had experienced before. It felt peaceful. Almost too peaceful, but in a way that felt comforting, not suspicious. They started with simple conversations that slowly became deeper over time. Long calls at night when neither of them wanted to be the first to hang up. Random check-ins during the day. Small moments that didn't seem like much at first, but slowly built something stronger underneath. They went on dates together. Sometimes it was just walking around campus, talking about everything and nothing. Other times it was sitting somewhere quiet, laughing at small things that wouldn't even make sense to anyone else. It wasn't flashy, but it felt real. Rosie started visiting Wemzy's place more often. At first it was just for a few hours. Then it became evenings. Then it became normal for her to stay over without thinking twice about it. Waking up there started to feel familiar, comfortable, like she belonged there. Wemzy never rushed her. He never pressured her. He never made her feel like she had to become someone else. He was calm with her, patient with her, present in a way that slowly lowered her guard without her even noticing. It happened on a normal day. Nothing felt wrong. Nothing felt off. Nothing in the air suggested anything was about to change. Rosie was at Wemzy's place, like she had been many times before. They had spent the morning together normally, laughing, talking, eating. Everything felt regular. Then Wemzy said he needed to step out briefly to get something for both of them. Rosie didn't think much of it. She stayed back in the room, comfortable and relaxed. His phone was on the bed, unlocked. At first, she didn't even pay attention to it. But then it buzzed. Once. Then again. The screen lit up. A message preview appeared. A contact name saved with too many love emojis. Rosie paused. Not because she was suspicious, but because something about it caught her attention in a way she couldn't explain. She picked up the phone. Just to check. Nothing serious in her mind. Just curiosity. Nothing more. At first, she thought it was nothing. Maybe a friend joking, maybe a playful name someone had saved, maybe something harmless. But as she opened the chat and started scrolling, something in her mind began to shift. Line by line, message by message. It stopped being unclear, and slowly, it became undeniable. This wasn't casual conversation. It wasn't random chatting. It was a relationship. Not long after, Wemzy returned. The moment he walked in, he felt the change immediately. The silence in the room was different, heavy, still. Rosie was on the floor, the phone near her. Her face already showing what words had not yet said. He stopped walking. Rosie slowly stood up, her voice shaking but controlled. Who is she? That question didn't just ask for information, it demanded truth. Wemzy hesitated. At first, he tried to speak carefully, to explain, to soften it, to find words that would reduce the damage. But Rosie wasn't moving anymore. She was listening and waiting. The argument started rising. His explanations became tangled. Her emotions became sharper. The room filled with tension that couldn't be avoided anymore.
until finally he stopped and told the truth. No more soft words, no more avoidance, just honesty. I've always had a girlfriend. Silence. Then the final part. You were the side piece. Everything went still. Even the air felt different. Rosie didn't shout anymore. She didn't argue. She didn't ask anything else. Something inside her had already broken past the point of reaction. She simply bent down, picked up her things one by one in silence, and walked out of Wemzy's place. That was the end of them.
When Rosie got home, she didn't even need to explain everything at once. Mary knew something was wrong the moment she saw her. Rosie wasn't her usual self. She wasn't talking. She wasn't reacting. She just walked in and sat down. And then it all came out, slowly, in pieces. Mary listened without interrupting. At first, she was shocked, then silent. Then she moved closer and sat beside Rosie. Rosie didn't cry loudly anymore. She just sat there, staring at nothing, as if her mind was trying to process something too big to accept at once. Mary tried to comfort her. She spoke softly. She told her it would pass. She told her she would heal. But Rosie wasn't hearing it yet. Because this wasn't just heartbreak. It was betrayal mixed with shock. The kind that doesn't just hurt your feelings. It rearranges how you see people. That night, Rosie barely slept. And when she did close her eyes, she kept replaying everything. Not the ending, but the beginning. Because now, even the beautiful parts felt different. And that was the hardest part to accept.